probably safe to say that you want a successful growing business, right? A couple of questions for you. Have you been winging it with your marketing so far? Is your plan maybe in your head or perhaps made up as you go along? Do you lack a marketing background or perhaps have a marketing background but don't have the time to formulate a real professional marketing plan? If you answered yes to any of these, then it's time to do what successful businesses do. Invest in the future of your business with a robust and flexible marketing plan. A marketing plan is a document that describes activities involved in achieving specific marketing objectives within a set time period. The plan covers all the essential marketing building blocks, including positioning, pricing, promotion, and budgeting. A good plan is full of definitions, assumptions, and actions which will steer your business towards success. You wouldn't buy a house without a financial plan, and you wouldn't go on an overseas vacation without a flight plan. This is because without plans we move forward blindly, reacting to others and hoping for the best. With a plan, we remain on our front foot, approaching decisions with confidence and momentum. This allows us to run our businesses efficiently. So stop playing small and do what successful businesses do. They save time, money, and move forward with confidence by building marketing plans for their businesses. Thank you. How many times have you heard someone ask you for advice on their business? What should I do, they ask? Well, we hear that a lot, and honestly, when we ask them what their business objective is, we're surprised with how often there's no clear answer to that question. You know the saying, no wind is the right wind without a port in mind. Well, we think this is true, and especially in marketing. A clear and measurable objective outlined in writing is key to hold ourselves accountable and give ourselves clarity of purpose and direction, and only then do we set up strategies or building blocks that directly support each objective. Oh, and by the way, Facebook's not a strategy, it's a tactic used to support a broader strategy you have in place, but we'll come to that later. When setting the foundation, the following points are developed in specific detail. Understand company mission, define marketing objectives, set broad marketing strategies in direct support of these objectives. The added benefit of having worked through these objectives and strategies in advance is that they are always there to guide you when you inevitably face a challenge or difficult marketing decision and you need to make sure to stay on course. Working on launching a new business or even a new product within an existing business is hard. Before putting in all the effort, wouldn't it make sense to do some or a lot of work to ensure there's the payoff you're planning on? Market scoping looks at key external business factors before you spend your money at launch. I'd like to use an example that shows the benefit of market scoping taken from the world of global entertainment marketing. To market the home entertainment launches of TV shows such as Glee and 24, we had to, of course, explore launching in the very lucrative yet very risky market of Japan. And I'm happy to say that these franchises had massive success. My point here, however, is to highlight the show we chose not to launch. Some of you may know the hit TV show Vikings that enjoys massive success worldwide. We found, however, after proper market scoping and research in Japan, that the word Vikings does not even exist. Therefore, a launch of the show would have been an uphill battle culturally and therefore very expensive. So we opted not to risk the money and passed on the launch in that market. It was, however, only through proper market scoping in advance that guided our strategic decision and saved us a costly misstep. When undertaking a market scoping exercise, the following points should be developed in specific detail. Clarify market size, value, segments, current and future trends, establish all key players, understand their offer, identify opportunities and threats based on your market scoping. Scoping is a critical step to become fully aware of the overall market and the specific segment you're operating in before taking the plunge. Research? Some of you might be thinking, sounds expensive. Very not me. I'm an expert in my field. Why do I need to spend money on this? And where would I start anyway? Well, we get it. But we would also suggest that research is always looked at as an investment in your business. If planned right, it's an investment that will pay off every time certain consumer marketing decisions are made, from creative to taglines to pricing. While there are examples of businesses that win by launching on gut instinct alone, like startups Amazon and Facebook back in the day, statistics show it's very uncommon and most gut instinct-led initiatives get killed in the market. Hollywood movie studios with a global presence find that by and large, US entertainment content plays well abroad. That being said, millions of dollars are spent each year on research to understand exactly what parts of each film most resonate with local cultures. Some of you saw TV spots for the hilarious comedy Spy 2 with Jason Statham and Melissa McCarthy. The spots run in the US were unique to those run internationally. Now outside the US, consumers saw TV spots with 1. More international stars, and 2. More slapstick comedy versus what US audiences saw. And the jokes and scenes that were picked as part of the marketing campaign were all chosen based on research results. Hollywood studios don't leave their influential marketing campaigns to gut instinct. Why should you? So let's bring it back to your business. Have you ever wondered any of the following? What if I lowered my prices? Would that get me commensurate volume increases? Are my key selling points really important to my target audience? How does my target perceive my product versus my main competitor? Now, how much money would the answers to these questions be worth to you? As you move forward with your research project, make 100% certain you have your research objectives clearly outlined in advance. This way, the information you get back is actionable over the long term and proves to be a real investment supporting the foundation of your business. Competitive review. Sounds pretty basic, right? A business might say, yes, we have a competitor that charges more than we do for pretty much the same product. So our strategy will be to maintain a lower price point and just clean up. Well, that sounds good, but as we know, there are many metrics on which to evaluate our competition. To include pricing, positioning, target, product specs, and many more. A competitive review works through all of these versus your offer, so you are not taken by surprise by how a competitor is operating in your segment and if they might have plans to take share from you. Your work here will extend beyond competitors in your geographic location to others you might not be familiar with. If you're selling a product or service online, any business that ranks for your search terms should be considered a competitor. Now don't be shy here. If you are successful in your segment, know that the competition is looking at you too. Now when doing a competitive review, or if you have us do it for you, make sure to identify your top 5 competitors, wherever they may be. Who's a competitor? Well, it's the company solving the same problem you are. Compare key marketing elements, product service benefits, pricing, website, promotion, social media, and paid ads. List marketing best practices across competitors with examples of what's working. Map your competitors on a graph with axes that make sense for your business. Price versus value are often good places to start. Develop a gap analysis in grid format, comparing key measures you compete on. For example, social activity, pricing, search results. Once completed, you'll have a clear indication of where you stack up against your competition, allowing you to compete in the marketplace with total confidence. So what the heck is positioning? Well, it's a marketing buzzword and we try to stay away from those. But this one, well, it's really important. Think of positioning as how your product or service is perceived in the mind of the consumer. Kind of important, right? So why does this really matter? Well, to answer this, think of how intuitively our minds understand the relative positioning of movies that are marketed to us. As an example, I will use a movie many of you in the US have heard of called The Blind Side. It stars Sandra Bullock and earned an Academy Award. It's a great movie. Ask anyone what the movie is about, and they'll very broadly include football in that description. And that works great in the United States, where football is culturally relevant and hugely popular. However, let's talk about marketing this product globally. As we know, outside the US, football is not a mainstream sport, and definitely not a trigger to drive purchase. Well, enter positioning, and in this case, repositioning. For the international home entertainment launch, we changed the packaging and advertising campaign to focus on the star power of Sandra Bullock and the relationship storyline. Scarcely even a suggestion of sports at all in the international campaign, which delivered results well above forecast. Our approach to positioning can be summed up in 4 simple steps. Identify market segments and definite targets. Appraise relative benefits of your product to your target. Understand your competitor's positioning and how yours compares. Document your specific positioning statement in writing. Remember, the best marketing plans have a positioning statement in writing that allows your entire team, both internal staff and external vendors, to understand how their individual contributions align with your overall marketing campaign.
Are you confident your pricing is helping you achieve your business goals? Are you familiar with all the pricing approaches and all the strategies that are available? Most people we talk to answer no to one or both of these questions. Pricing is one of the most critical elements of the marketing mix. It's an evolving balancing act to ensure that you stay competitive while maximizing profit. Price too high and you won't generate the volume you need. Price too low and you'll leave money on the table. Every business is different, but establishing the optimum price for a product or service is critical to long-term competitiveness and survival. After successfully pricing countless products and services, we've found these 5 steps to be critical to optimizing pricing. Firstly, define your business goals and positioning. Maybe your goal is per unit profit maximization, or maybe it's to capture market share. Whatever it is, it must be decided before you launch. Secondly, calculate your costs. Your costs will set the price floor for your product. Review your competition. Remember that your customers will definitely be making comparisons. Review your pricing options. There are absolutely tons available, so decide what's right for you based on the prior steps. And test demand. You don't have to rely on your gut. There are actually ways to research pricing options before you go to market. These steps will allow you to price or reprice your product with confidence. But remember, pricing is dynamic and it changes over time. So these steps need to be reviewed periodically. So pricing is definitely a complicated topic, but it's really essential if you want to get it right and grow your business. Do you know all of your customer touchpoints? Do you have a plan to engage and ultimately convert prospects into customers? Customer contact encompasses every type of interaction that the business has with existing or potential customers, whether it's through advertising, customer support, online shopping, newsletters, sales events, etc., etc. It's really important for businesses to identify every possible interaction with their customers and then design a plan to ensure brand consistency and opportunity maximization. So I'm now going to give you a list of critical things that need to be done to make this happen. Firstly, review your marketing goals and target customer profiles. Then identify all of the stages and interactions for your target customer's path to purchase. Provide strategies and tactics to maximize engagement and conversions at each one of these stages. Plan and develop all of the marketing assets required to execute those tactics while always maintaining brand consistency with both imagery and messaging. Then establish a 12-month calendar to coordinate these assets and maximize their impact. And determine your key performance indicators. These are KPIs. Whether it's conversions, phone calls, email addresses, sales, etc., etc., over a set period of time. I like to use the acronym RIPT to help remember all of these. These days, there are so many different ways to interact with the customer that it's really easy to lose sight of them all. So follow these steps and stay focused on success. Are you confused about how to best harness new technologies for your business? Are you tired of trying new digital methods that just don't yield the results that you want? Do you get sidetracked and frustrated by all the latest blog posts on sites like HubSpot? Well, you're definitely not alone. Digital marketing is the term for marketing products or services using digital technologies, platforms, and techniques like mobile phones, tablets, social media, blogs, and AdWords. If done well, digital marketing is an extremely efficient way for small to medium-sized businesses to compete and grow. So here's our approach for developing digital marketing activities as part of an overall marketing plan. Firstly, review your business goals. Then perform a thorough audit on your website to ensure it's optimized for search engines. Determine if paid and display ads are even appropriate for your business. Then develop a social media plan encompassing platforms, content, media influencers, and timing. Give consideration to perfecting your marketing funnel. In other words, outreach tools such as newsletters, blogs, infographics, and webinars designed to engage and entice people to take a desired action, which could be providing an email address or calling you for a quote. And this needs to happen at each stage of their journey towards becoming your customer. Finally, set measurable goals and allocate the right budget to achieve them. You can then get started with confidence and evolve as necessary. Following these steps will make it easier to stay focused in the dynamic world of digital marketing, allowing you to save time and money and position yourself for success. Marketing content is such a buzzword today, but it's so important that we address it for best-in-class marketing plans. As marketers, if we don't use the right marketing content at the right time for the right people, then we're just wasting time and money. But what is marketing content? Marketing content refers to the assets, which are often digital, required to support all elements of your marketing plan. It includes things like ads, promotional videos, images, ebooks, infographics, newsletters, and pitch presentations. It's a critical component of the overall plan because assets must be consistent with the brand look and values while simultaneously engaging the right audience with a really compelling message. There's no luck involved in getting your content right. It is all built upon your marketing foundation. When developing marketing content, we recommend taking the following steps. Firstly, review the marketing objectives and strategies to determine your content needs. Then create a brief for the required marketing content assets. Just have a designer provide various different options. Oversee creation of the marketing content assets and make sure it all stays on time and on budget. And then test the content and ensure it engages your target audience. Refine the content as required to overall improve your results. All content is not created equal, but by letting your marketing foundation guide your content choices, you will ensure you're spending valuable time and money wisely on the most effective assets for your unique business. So here's a question. Do you have a marketing budget for the year? Well, many small to medium-sized businesses don't, and this can be a barrier to growth. For a marketing plan to be effective, it's important to understand the business goals and what funds will be available to deliver those goals. This will help determine the scope of the marketing activities and what we can spend. Usually the marketing budget is based off a percentage of the expected net revenue for the year. That percentage can be lowered or increased depending on the type of business, product, service, and its life stage. For example, new products often require a bigger percentage to fund the launch. Once the budget is determined, it needs to be allocated across all the appropriate line items, such as advertising, promotions, social, CRM, sales co-op, content development, and research. The number of line items is usually related to the size of the spend. With smaller budgets, it's advisable to focus on making an impact with just a few activities versus diluting it across many. As the months go by, it's important to track expenditure against budget and to fine-tune by increasing or reducing line item spends as necessary to deliver the best results. Be on top of your planning game. So when you need to fund your growth with a capital infusion, you'll have your marketing budget ready to go, validating your opportunity and professionalism. Do not let the lack of a budget inhibit your potential to grow. Get started today.